Hey everybody, it's DJ with Plan for Keeps Dating App and Podcast, and today I have a special guest. Welcome to the show, Jazz.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on. So you are here for Dating Chronicles, where you give a funny, crazy, or lesson learned dating or relationship story. What do you have for us today?
Girl, we'll be here all day. I think the wildest dating story that I have, I've had some bad ones, I've had some funny ones, but the wildest one, I can honestly say, was a few years back. I had met this guy, and he had took me out on a couple of dates. He actually took me out on the best date I've ever had.
Oh,
like, first date I've ever had. I like interactive dates.
Okay.
So he took me to Dave and Buster's. We had a really good time. Then after that, we went on we went on 2 dates.
Okay.
And so, like, our third time linking up, he came to my house, and we were just chilling. We were just having a good time at the house, just chilling. And I hear a knock at the door.
Okay.
This at my house. I've only known this man for maybe 4 weeks max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, get a knock at my door. I go to the door. It's this older white man. And he was like, is such and such here. He named him by like his full name, like first, middle, last. And his car was in my driveway, but I ain't no snitch. I ain't know what this man wanted. So I looked him dead in his face. I was like, no, he's not. And he was like, okay. And he just walked away. And I was like, wait, who's asking? And he was like, this is such and such from such and such, repossession. And I was like, okay, give me 1 second. And I went back in the house. And I was like, such and such is here to repossess your car. And he played it real cool. He was like, oh, okay. He like put his shoes back on. He was like, okay, let me just, go out here and get, my stuff out the car. And I was like, okay.
You're gonna let his ass out.
He went outside and got his stuff out the car, and he came back in, and mind you, he lived an hour away.
Oh my God.
So at the time, I'm staying. My mom was like, you can't stay here, but even if I didn't, you still can't stay here. So,
right.
So he was like, yeah. So I had bought them. He said he had bought the car from like one of those buy here,
pay here place.
Yeah, pay here place. Mm-hmm. And he was like, when I bought the car, they told me wasn't anything wrong with it, and then something was wrong with it, and he was like, he paid to get it fixed, and then something else happened to it, and he called him and was like, y'all didn't disclose this to me. So, and they were like, oh well, you still got to make the payments. He was like, I ain't paying y'all nothing else. So, and he was like, I wonder how they knew to come get it from here.
Right,
probably
have
like
a tracker.
A tracker on it, because it's not your car yet. You're still making payments on it. So, they tracked him right on down to my house, and so I'm like, okay, I gotta take this man home.
Oh my God. And
I'm trying, I'm like, he's probably embarrassed. I don't want to emasculate him, so I'm trying to say it lightly.
Yeah.
Get in the car on the way to his house, and instead of him just being like, because sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Right.
Instead of him just being like, okay, like, I don't have it or whatever, he was like, like, when you really cool with somebody and y'all really fucking with each other heavy and y'all solid, and I'm just like, solid? I'm like I ain't know you existed. Like,
right.
Girl, like, so he just talking, I ain't saying nothing. He like, yeah, he was like, if they was in need, I wouldn't ask them for nothing. Like, I wouldn't even ask them, like, if they needed something, and I would just give it to them, and I wouldn't even expect nothing back in return. And I didn't say anything. I just knew right then, and I was like, he not gonna give me no gas money for this.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, not getting no gas money. Just to confirm, I pulled up to the pump, looked at him. I made him pump it. I'm gonna play that now. I'll leave you with this gas station.
Yeah.
I did. I ended up paying for my own gas. And then when I was like, okay, this can't get any worse. I'm thinking in my mind, like, God, this can't get any worse. Girl, it started fucking snowing.
What?
What's that? Yes.
Was this 2014 when it got bad? What year was this?
This was 2020. The snow didn't stick.
Okay.
You know, they
But
say
still, though.
stick.
Okay.
Yes. And I remember this was right after my granddaddy had passed.
Okay.
So I'm like, this had to have been the grief. Because start snowing. Take him to, he's like, I got another car at my mom's house. Took him to his mom's house. He got his other car. Maybe about a week or two later, he asked me out on another date. Now this is his birthday. His birthday and Valentine's Day are the same day. And I will never forget because Queen and Slim had came. And he was like, I'm like, it's your birthday. Birthdays are a big deal.
Yeah.
Mine and everybody else's. So I'm like, you know what? We can do whatever you want to do. He's like, I want to go to the movies. I'm like, okay, cool. I have this thing about, I hate being stood up. So I have this thing about, like, until you confirm with me and you're saying, like, I'm on the way, I'm not putting no clothes on. I might have an outfit put out, but I'm not doing anything. So I'm talking to him the entire day. We have confirmed the day. I'm talking to him the entire day. He was like, yeah, I'm on the way. And after an hour passed, I don't hear nothing from him. I text him. Nothing.
Wait, were you out there or did you at home?
I was at home, but I was fully dressed by the time he said he was on the way.
Okay, got you.
So by this time, I'm livid. I'm pissed off. Like,
real quick, was he supposed to pick you up or were y'all supposed to meet there?
He was picking me. Yes, he was picking me up.
Oh, so he stood you up.
Yeah, I'm mad as hell. And I look good, too.
Girl,
I was so mad. And this is how I knew I was mad. Because I had my brother, I was like, take some pictures of me. He took some pictures of me because I was like, I'm going to the movies anyway because I really wanted to see the movie.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like, I'm not going, let him stop anything. I want to go to the movies. I'm going to go to the movies.
Yes.
So I was cute. Went to the movie. The whole movie, I was mad as hell.
I bet.
The whole 2.5 hours. I was mad the whole time. On the way to the movies, during the movie, and when I left the movies, I was mad. And the next morning, because I had posted a picture on Instagram, the next morning, he FaceTimed me. And I told you I had this thing about being stood up. So I asked my 2 questions. I said, did somebody die? He was like, I saw somebody in the hospital. Did somebody die? He was like, no. I said, did you get locked up?
Right.
He was like, no. I said, okay. And I just hung up in his face. And that was, like I said, 2020, 2023. He's still in my Facebook DMs talking.
Are you?
Yeah. And the first thing he asked me when he FaceTimed me was, who you went to the movies with?
Oh, no, he did.
No, he didn't explain himself or anything. He was like, who you went to the movies with? No, nigga, where were you? Like,
did you ask him that or you just did at that point?
I just asked my 2 questions because to me, if nobody died and you not locked up, it really don't matter what happened. You stood me up. Like a text take 5 seconds. Like, so that's just how I feel. If ain't nobody in the hospital or if you not locked up and you can't get to your phone or you not distraught, it don't matter. It don't matter.
When did you get to that level of it don't matter? Because I know for some people, because I think back in 2020, I think I was at that level. But if I go back a few years prior, I would have wanted to know what happened, where the hell were you, all of that.
It took a minute. I made a joke to one of my friends some years back. I was like, damn, I think I done broke the world record for being stood up. Like, and so it took a minute. Like, and it took one of my homeboys to tell me. He was like, sometimes, when guys ask you out, he said, sometimes we just ask you out just to see if you'll say yes. Especially if we feel like you out of our league. He was like, we have no intentions on taking you anywhere. I was like, why? Why did you just leave me alone? Like, that's crazy. But he was like, yeah, like sometimes we'll just ask just to see what you're going to say. You said, yeah, that boosted my ego. Okay, cool. I know I could, if I wanted to, like, I could take you out.
So why do you think that is? Did he explain, like, do you feel like women are out of their league or too much work? Like,
he said sometimes it could just be they feel like you're out of their league and it's an ego boost.
But wouldn't that ego boost be even bigger if they actually took you to the movies and y'all took pictures?
Spend the money and take the time.
So that's why. Okay, so they rather would deal with a woman who really don't know, I guess, their quote unquote worth like that, and
that's what it sounds like to me.
That's terrible.
It made sense. And he said, he's like, I know it's wrong, but it's just. He was like, yeah. He was like, this how. And I was like, cause I'm like, these guys will ask me out, and like, yeah, we're going and nothing. I've had a guy ask me out on a date before in my DMs. This was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was still in college. He asked me out on a date, and then like a couple days later, he went live on Facebook and proposed to this girl. I'm like, what? Like,
Yo.
like we had a scheduled a time and a day and everything. And I'm like, girl,
So what do you?
I don't know, but it did. It took me a minute to get there to be like, no, like there's no reason, there's no excuse. It took a little bit of time for me to learn that people are like, I feel like people are creatures of habit, whether
they
it's
are
in a malicious way or like an unintentional way, like, yeah, you just, some people will just waste their time to waste your time.
You don't waste your time. So let me ask you this: did you meet him on like one of the apps or anything like that?
Did I meet him? I think I did. I met him on Facebook.
Facebook. Okay. So is there a difference now in like how you like look at a person's profile versus how you look at their profile now, or do you look for certain things now then versus now?
Yeah, I am a little bit more in the detail now.
Okay.
When I look at somebody's profile, but I still take it with a grain of salt. I feel like on the internet, people can be whoever they want to be.
That's true.
So I just prefer to meet people organically. Just see you know, just out in your element, in my element, and whoever. But on the internet, people be whoever they want to be. But there are certain things that I do look for. Like when I'm on dating apps, when it says children and a guy says prefer not to answer, what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah. Oh, that is a huge red flag.
Yeah, red flag.
Yeah.
You got like 10 kids and you taking care of them. I don't put you with con artists, like
right,
by different names, or like even their names. Like some people, I'm like, this is not a real name. This is not your name.
Yeah, I've
been working in healthcare for 10 years. I did registration for 3 of them.
Yeah,
I came across a plethora of. This is not your name.
Honey,
you got a whole family somewhere.
I ran into a situation similar to that where I didn't know the guy's name and police got involved. I could save that for some another time, but yeah, I got some wild dating stories. Let me go back a little bit, back to your story. So with this guy, you said you had an amazing first date. Like when you think now, it's been a couple years, 3 years. Any red flags you think you could have caught from?
Oh yeah. I don't like to use like all these words loosely, but I'm pretty sure he was love bombing me. Like the fact that he was like, you gonna be my wife. Like I just love you, and stuff like that. Now that turns me off. I don't like when men do that. I instantly think Lifetime movie. You gonna try to kill me? Like, I don't like that.
Yeah,
like a deer, you gotta tread lightly.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, when he was doing all of that, and he was like, I want you to be my girlfriend. I was just like, you don't even know me. Like, you don't even know me well enough for me to be your girlfriend. But it was that, and I remember he pulled out his card, and he was like, "What you get anything you want? What you want? Here go the card."
Lord.
And I never got anything because it just kind of made me uncomfortable. Like,
right.
We had Dave and Buster's. Like, and I was like, no, I'm good. I gave him his card back. Then he was like, you leave her a tip, whatever you want to leave her. And he was
wow.
Like, it was, so.
Was this a credit card or some shit? Like,
it was a credit card, but.
Yeah, that's all. That's that.
It was like a green card. Look, it could have been somebody. I don't know. I don't put nothing past somebody repossessing your car in my driveway. I don't know, but
yo, so, let me ask you another question. So, when you think when he was kind of like love bombing you, do you? Because I know you said now it automatically turns you off. Back then, did stuff like that make you feel good? Did it make you feel validated, or did you just kind of go with it because society will tell you too, like guys should compliment you? Like it's a weird. Where do you think you fit in that?
At the time, I think with that specific situation, it didn't make me feel good. I think it was just an escape from reality. Like, I met him, maybe like 2-3 days after my granddaddy had passed.
Oh.
So I think I was just like, let me go out here and have some fun and just see what happens. Like, anything to escape the reality that my granddaddy had passed.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what that was. And I was like, I don't like this, but I'm just going to go with it because what's I got to do other than go home and be sad? So I think that's what that was. But, yeah, there have been times. So, guys will compliment me and, and I'm like, oh. And it's not the regular, oh, you so beautiful, you so. Because I hate those compliments. Like, humbly speaking, like, niggas tell me I'm pretty all the time.
All the time, right.
But if you give me a compliment like you a good person, or something like that, that'll resonate with me a little more.
Yeah.
I think I'm a good person, so let me stick beside you. Yeah, that was definitely resonate with me.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions on my podcast. So my first question for you, and it rung through my head without me even looking through these. What is the craziest thing you've ever done for the sake of love? For the sake of love.
Oh, I did that because I was mad. For the sake of love. I would say the craziest thing I ever did. This guy, I was in love with him, and I could tell we were getting kind of distant.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know why, and I knew Valentine's Day was coming up.
Yeah.
And like when I like somebody, I trick them on a little bit.
Yeah, ain't no wrong with ain't no
go out of my name and then like that.
Ain't no wrong with that.
Yeah, but I like to buy you like nice things and and stuff like that. So so he lived in Macon, and I was like, I'm gonna surprise him. For Valentine's Day. No, damn well I done had no money to be getting nobody hotel room. So I'm online. I done booked this cheap ass hotel room. I don't know nothing about Macon except for what people tell me. I had only been down there one time because most of the time he would come see me.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because the one time I did go up there, he was, and I had stayed, like in like a nice area. He was like, yeah, when you come up here like this, where you need to stay, and so I had got this hotel room. I'm like, well, it's closer to like where he stays and his job because he don't know I'm coming and he gonna be tired when he get off. Like I'm thinking I'm being thoughtful, I'm like, he gonna be tired. So I don't have him drive all the way on the other side of town. I went to that damn hotel room. It was like some shit off of TV. It was like a ring in the tub.
Oh my God.
Cigarettes. And it was stains on the pillows. I was like, oh, hell nah. Like, it wasn't no refund because I paid like $67. I should have known then, like, it's too cheap. Something is wrong. Girl. So, I went back up to the front desk. I was like, I took pictures. And I was like, no, like, absolutely not. Y'all keep $60. It's not going to work for me. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And when I made my complaint, come to think about it, the guy, he was more concerned. I was like, I'm showing him the pictures of the stains and the nasty tub and stuff, and he was like, you said they was smoking in there. There's no smoking allowed here. Like,
oh, wow.
Is no cleaning allowed here, too? Like, so, he was like, okay, I'm so sorry, I'll give you a better room. So he did. He gave me a better room, but it still was not clean to my liking. So I hit up old boy and I was like, hey, surprise. I came to surprise you. I know you had to work today. And he was like, I get off at this time. And it was like a way later time than what I had anticipated it being on. So pretty much he was gonna be at work all night.
Oh wow.
All night. And he was going to get off at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay. Went to Walmart and I got me some stuff to clean that ruined my damn self.
Oh my God.
I just could not. I was like, I got no money to go somewhere else. Like, and I'm like, I want to see my man. I love him. talking about scared. I was in a place. I was on the first floor. I have to think about that. First floor by myself.
Probably outside motel, hotel type.
Motel. It's people that live here, like across the street. Ladies crying. Like, I had my gun on the nightstand. I was not playing.
Yeah.
Like, girl, and I put out all the stuff. I had got him a robe with his name engraved on.
Oh, that's nice.
With his name engraved on. I had got him a pint of Hennessy. He liked to write. Like, that was his de-stressor. So I got him a journal with some nice pens.
That's nice.
I think I got him some cologne too. That was more for me. Yeah,
girl, I love a guy who smell good.
Yes. So, and I had, laid it out for him. I had my lingerie and stuff, and I didn't sleep well that night, but I slept and set my alarm until he got off work. And then when he got off work, he came on, and yeah, we hung out. He took me out to eat and stuff like that. But
it sounded like it was worth it.
I'm single, so I guess.
Well, it was worth it in that moment. Was it worth it in that moment?
It was like I was in love with him. I still love him, like I do, but I ain't in love with him. But
got you. Yeah. Okay. When you think about that relationship, where you say you were in love with him, do you think you would take pieces of like? I guess that person and engrave it into the next. Like, what did you learn? What did you learn from that relationship?
A lot. Because there was somebody I'd known for a very long time. Like, I was 15.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 15. He was like 18. But we didn't start dating until after I graduated from college.
Yeah.
And it happened by accident. It wasn't something intentional. But I would say what I took from that, like if someone is, I feel like if someone sees a future with you or they're serious about you, like they're gonna include you. Like they're gonna consider you.
Yeah.
And that's what I look for now with men. And I do know, like, with me dating him, a requirement for me, something that I need that I didn't know I needed before, is someone with an even temperament. Like, I can't do, like, men with hot tempers and you entitled to your feelings. You can be mad, you can be sad, you can be mad at me, but you have to respect me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to call you out your name. Like, even if he was mad at me, he still respected me. He wasn't yelling at me or hanging up in my face, calling me out my name. Like, we just weren't like that. And that's something that I require because after that, when I met somebody else who did have a temper, I completely shut down. I can't deal with it.
Right.
I can't do it. The yelling and all of that, I can't do it.
Oh, that's a beautiful experience when you get with somebody like that. And then if you experience the opposite with somebody else, you can immediately shut that down. In the past, did you deal with anybody? Did you deal with a lot of hot-tempered people and have to maneuver through that or no?
Not in my past, but after him, I did. And that's when I was like, oh, no, this ain't for me. Like,
got you.
Like, I grew up seeing my mama yell and cuss niggas out. And she'll yell, like,
yeah.
My mama, she'll get down with the best of them. I grew up around it, and I think in my teenage to early 20s, I was that girl in a relationship.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, he hurt my feelings, so I need to cuss him out, or I need to get up in his face, or I need to slap him, or I need to. And I say it wasn't until about my mid-20s, and I was like, oh, you can just have a conversation with a man, and y'all can move forward, like, how, like, because I had never seen that. I didn't see my grandparents.
Yeah.
And that was the only long-term marriage that I had.
Yeah.
With my grandparents. So, I was like, oh, okay, I got somebody. Like he wasn't doing all that with me. Like if I was mad, them long texts you sent, he was like, nah, you go and talk to me. Like I'm not texting you.
I would used to hate that though. I send my long, mad, angry text and don't get no response back.
Yes. Not the what you mean. What you mean what I mean?
please.
MLA format.
Right. Oh,
Presentation of what I mean.
they used to get me hot until one of the guys I was dealing with was like, "No, we gonna talk." And I had, cause I would text all day, but vocally it'd be hard for me to like really like express my, like I'd be on mute, or I just would be mad. Like, you feel my energy and passive aggressive, but I'd be on mute. But that text message, I'm gonna read you. But I had to learn, and the guy that I was dealing with, he really had to put that in my face, and I'm still learning how to properly like communicate, like when I'm angry too.
Like,
yeah.
vocally I am, but I go to therapy, and what I have started to do, and it really helps me, is I still type out what I want to say, because that's just easier for me. But I just say what I typed out. Like,
Got you.
Read it off, and that makes it easy for me to actually say it out loud.
Yeah.
Because if I go off script, I'm revert back to old jazz. So.
I'm glad you found a tactic. I might need to take that from you.
Like I just write it out.
Okay.
Just get it out. Probably with my therapist, she said you got to process it.
Yes.
Draw a picture, type it up, whatever it is. She was like, but get it out. Don't hold it in.
Got you.
So in this time process, I write it up in your notes on a sheet of paper, whatever, and then I'm like, okay, these are my key points. So when we had this conversation, this is what I need to stick with, because I'm an imperfect person.
It be like that, and that's cool. That is cool.
And I will say the other big thing that I learned with that is not to take everything personal. Like with me and him didn't work out. Me and him didn't work out. I was, like, he did this to me. Why he like and but I think that he just had stuff internally going on that had nothing to do with me. And we ask a lot of people who can't give us those things because they can't even give it to themselves at the time.
That's very true.
Yeah, so that was a big one for me. Cause
got you.
It was like, I'm giving this to you. Why you can't give it back?
Right.
Give it to his damn self, So I really, with that situation, I really had to be like, okay, let's look at reality and not what you want it to be. Because I feel like as women, when we start liking somebody, we look at what we want.
Right.
The fantasy.
Right.
We think about the fantasy, and it's not really what's going on. Like, in reality, the way things are with him right here, right now, today, would you be happy with it 10 years down the line?
Yeah.
Because that was the only man I could honestly say I could see myself spending the rest of my life with. If you would ask me. There are other men I've dated. There are other men that brought marriage up to me. Mm-hmm. No. I don't want to be with you till I die. Shit don't sound good. But with him, I was like, yes, I love him. I could be this every day. Could you really? You're not really getting what you need.
So let me ask.
Just in love. Love don't keep people together.
Together. Yeah, it's not enough. Because sometimes they'll keep people together.
It will.
But it ain't enough. Yeah. It don't be enough. Yeah. You be unhappy. So let me ask you. So who broke up with who? In that situation, did he break up with you, or did you break up with him? Or was it kind of like a mutual thing where y'all just got distant and it just?
It was mutual because I feel like he got more distant from me, but he would I always say, men don't leave with me.
Yeah.
Most of the time they don't leave.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I think I was one who broke the cycle. Like he'll get distant, and then he'll come back. We work it out. He'll get distant. And I'm like, we love each other. We can get through because we got love. Like, girl. And then I was just like, nah. Like, this ain't enough. And I decided, because he came back like they always do.
Yeah.
Like, I miss you. And he was like, if that means anything. And the last time we talked, I was like, I ain't going to say it don't mean anything. It's just not enough. And that was that. And I told him, I was like, move on with your life, and I literally said to him, like, I'm ending the cycle, like, whatever this is.
And how did you build yourself up? Like you said, you still got love for him. How did you build yourself up to even get to that point? Like,
oh, girl, that was hard. That was hard. I cried for months. For months. Ugly Fantasia cried. But I just had to start thinking about me. Mm-hmm. Because I felt like when he was getting distant, he was thinking about him and what was best for him at that time.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's doing that, I'm thinking about us and how we gonna move forward. But no, he thinking about him, how he gonna get through the day while I'm over here planning the future. You know, and I just started thinking about other stuff like him, you know, keeping me at bay and getting distant. And I'm like, man, I'm inviting you over for Christmas and you gonna help my brother build up his damn Lego set. Like, you eat Christmas dinner with us and stuff. And I'm just like, you know, kind of.
Right.
Keeping me at arm's length now. And yeah, so I was like, oh, he doing what's best for him, so I need to do what's best for me and stop thinking about what's best for us.
Got you.
Because it takes two to tango.
Right.
And I don't ever feel like I'm begging you, you know, to
right.
Because, you know, I had to remind myself, like, you still the prize, you know, because I would ask him stuff like, is it anything that I'm doing? Is something I could do better? He just like, no, you perfect. Okay, well, that don't help me. Like, what's the problem then, you know? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. So, basically sounds like you learned a lot from that relationship. Yeah. What's the hardest lesson that like you've learned and that you just carry on, like for the next relationship, just in life in general?
I think the hardest will always be to try to not take everything personal. Like, everything is not about you. That's hard. Because when you invest your time and your feelings into somebody, you know, you can't just be like, oh, well, I mean, I know we spend all this time together and we slept together and I love you, you love me, and you done met my friends, you know. And then, you know, be like, but it's just not going to work for me. Don't take it personal. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to take it personal because I spent my time, gave you my body, you know, but sometimes whatever issues they have, it really just doesn't have anything to do with it. Really, you can't make people, you know, get through whatever internal issues they have going on.
With yourself. And sometimes,
you know, whatever hardships they have going on outside of
you. And then sometimes I learn too, like, you could be a great woman, right? Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make you the right woman for them. Yep. And that's okay. As much as it hurt, but I know you know, in life we experience things, right? We experience different people, and I think for me, I had to learn to let go of like the ego. I feel like the ego is really what it's really what holds on to those people, and you have those hurt feelings. But if you can learn to drop the ego and just let people be them and love them, and that's what's made that easier for me. In regards to not just like my feelings not being hurt like that when it comes to men.
But that's real though. Yeah. What you just said, like the ego and people not, you know, you not being the right person for them. You can being a good person, but not being the right person for them. Because we had discussed us just being friends before. You know, I was like, we just gonna end the cycle. We had discussed that, and I told him, I was like, we can't be friends. Because when you my friend, you my homie, I'm gonna be happy for you in all walks of life. But if you meet somebody else, you marry this girl, and y'all I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm like, I missed all this damn time.
Right.
Like, so we can't be friends. Not, you know, like, that's just how
and that's okay too. Later, but right now in this season, it's and that's okay. And I wouldn't feel no type of way of feeling that way. That's good that you open and honest about it, because some people will sit here and put on fronts. Me, one of those people, before I even learned what I just talked about, I would put on a front like I was that person and would be not, what's the word? I can't even think of it. It start with an R and I can't even think of it. I can't freaking think of it right now, but I would be angry. Like, I'm dealing with this person. Like, I'll give you a little bit of a snippet of a story. So I would not regret, but it's I was dealing with this guy. He moved on without me knowing he moved on. Started dealing with this girl, everything. They ended up having a baby and everything, and he wanted to be friends. Mm-hmm. But I still, and you know, I tried for a long time to be that person, be a friend, but he still would try to sneak in and do right. You know what I'm saying? It start with an R. I can't think of the word right now, but I would be angry, resentful. Okay. Yeah, I would be resentful because I still would be that person for him, but I wasn't getting what I needed. And I finally had to be real with the situation and separate myself. Like, you know, you good, you cool, but I can't fuck with you on the level you trying to get me to fuck with you on. Yeah. So, and I've been at peace since then. You right. He was doing what he thought was best for him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I felt like I was all these things to him, and I'm doing this, that, and the third. And I'm a good woman, but I wasn't the right one. He was looking for something else, which he got now. So, you know, but I'm gonna end that there. I ain't gonna go too deep into that story, but
that's weird, because I was like, we can't be friends. I think some people say that just because they still want access.
I think,
He had told me, like, I ain't gonna never, you know, like, not ever want to be your friend or not ever want to be, like, he told me that. So I'm like, okay, I have to be the one to cut this off.
Right.
He not
gonna do it.
Yeah.
So,
but that was hard. That was a soul tie, like a real soul tie. Like when I wasn't talking to him for months, I had a dream about his mom, and I reached out to check up on him. He said his mom had been sick. Like it was a legit soul tie. Wow. I had to pray about that.
Oh my God, that is deep. Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you pushing through and choosing you.
Yes, girl. One day at a time.
That's what's up. Well, Jazz, I want to thank you for coming on and giving us your story. No, most definitely. And I want to thank all of the viewers, and I want to thank all of the listeners who will be tuning in later. And until next time.